You see a young, healthy guy in the prime of his life, it's hard to comprehend.
The worst weekend of Ashley Wilcoxon's life started with her husband Ryan complaining of a headache.
He came in the front living room and he was like, Ashley, my head hurts so bad. And he said, there's so much pressure on the back of my head. He's like, I feel really shaky. He's like, something's not right.
Ryan was taken to the hospital where doctors found a 6 centimeter brain bleed. While surgery was successful, an MRI came back with devastating news.
We could see that the damage was the entire brain.
Ryan, a man Ashley said could never live his life hooked up to machines, died at 31 years old. But his story was far from over due to his status as an organ donor.
It was a silver lining in a horrible, horrible situation.
That silver lining is something Mike Fry has also found after losing his son Cade to suicide in November of 2020.
We were losing our son, but there were a lot of others that were going into hospitals all over that were Thanksgiving Day, they were receiving new life.
Cade was one of 252 organ donors who the Indiana Donor Network says gave the gift of life in 2020, a number that broke the state's record despite the pandemic. The Indiana Donor Network works with grieving family members like Mike and Ashley with a main goal of providing support and education.
Our aftercare team and our organization as a whole continues to help these families understand what their loved one gave. We're really there to kind of walk with them as much as they need us to. Grief is a direct reflection of our love for that person. And so grief is so hard, whether somebody is 90 years old or whether, you're losing a baby who was just born.
Mike says he's glad Cade was an organ donor for many reasons.
And it has helped us grieve, knowing that he has helped others, that he lives on. He was 18 years old, so he was very young and prime of his life. So just knowing he helped others, and we've talked to some of the recipients now, that they're doing very well. They're better than they have been in years.
Mike says he isn't sure where he pulls his strength from, but his efforts to talk to local kids about mental health, as well as speaking about organ donation, have helped him to do good with the tragic loss of Cade. Ashley says her strength comes from prayer, her support system, and a message she received from her husband's nurse.
You just have to remember, he goes, you were Ryan's biggest decision in his entire life. He picked you because of who you are as a person, and he trusted you with all of this. He goes, so whatever you do, he goes, it's going to be the right thing because he picked you.
With local news that matters, Nicole Christine, WTWO.